So, hello guys, this is a video that I am creating for setting up Hardware Accelerated PhysX for Batman Arkham Games running through Proton on Linux. So, before we start, you should know that on Proton, there is no proper Hardware Accelerated PhysX implementation. So, PhysX either doesn't work properly or it is completely disabled altogether. So to fix it, we need to take some certain steps. And before we do that, let us take a benchmark of all the applications and all the Batman games running with their default configurations with PhysX enabled or PhysX disabled because it is not being detected.
Is Commissioner Gordon here?
Yes, sir. He's waiting for you down at patient handover. He got here just before you did.
Sharpie loves his cameras. Hey, Sharpie, you getting my good side? Ah, but heck, they're all good, aren't they?
I want him securely locked away this time.
Look at all this new security. How's the guy supposed to break out of here?
New patient in the intensive treatment lobby. All non-essential staff to vacate the area.
Oh, it's always nice to return to my sweet little hacienda. Catch up, will you? I'm gonna miss breakfast. Don't you realize it's the most important meal of the day?
Now, if we launch these games, waiting for the game to launch. Yeah, now if you go to the settings and change the hardware accelerated physics settings from off to any other value, you can see that the game complains about hardware accelerated physics not being detected and does not support, even though I have an NVIDIA card. Now similarly, if I exit this game and continue for Batman Arkham City, waiting for the game to launch. And go to settings and scroll down and change the settings for physics on Batman Arkham City. You can see that it gives the exact same complaints as Batman Arkham Asylum. You can see that the hardware detection is not being detected, and so the game complains about hardware accelerated physics not working. Going to Batman Arkham Origins and its settings, if I see the options for hardware accelerated physics, I do not get anything beyond normal. It's off or on. I mean off or normal. Usually if you have hardware accelerated physics, I'm supposed to get the high setting, which is unavailable. Now coming back to the graphics settings of Batman Arkham Knight, if I scroll down and check, we can see that from NVIDIA GameWorks settings, interactive smoke and fog and interactive paper debris are both disabled because it cannot detect hardware accelerated physics. Now that we have seen the performance of Batman Arkham Games without hardware accelerated physics, let's look into the ways to get it working. Now for this tutorial, I'll be assuming that you have a NVIDIA graphics card that supports hardware accelerated physics. Now you should note that for Batman Arkham Origins, Arkham City and Arkham Asylum, these are 32-bit games. So if you are having 32-bit games, NVIDIA 5000 series and proceeding further will not support hardware accelerated physics because they do not have 32-bit CUDA support. However, Batman Arkham Knight will continue to support on the latest versions of NVIDIA graphics card because 64-bit CUDA is still supported. Also to note that you must use Proton GE for these games, without which for some reason I have not been able to get hardware accelerated physics working. I have tried Proton Experimental, Proton Hotfix, specific versions of Proton. The Valve provided Proton software doesn't seem to be liking the physics changes. So for this tutorial, please use GE-Proton, specifically version 7 above, for the NVIDIA libs to be working, and any version of Proton GE should be absolutely fine. So let's get hardware physics working. So the first thing we need to do is to download this NVIDIA libs from the GitHub user Sevsop. Now this is important because he provides a set of libraries that allows CUDA to be used in Wine prefixes. Okay, now I have just downloaded this, and let's open this and extract and rename this library so that I can move it to a place of my convenience. And while moving, do keep this in mind that whatever place you move this library to, you shall not move it once this library is used, because what happens is when this library is being used, it creates symlinks to this library. So moving this library breaks all of the symlinks. So I'll just put it in local share and paste it here, and let's just open a terminal here. So the first game we will set up is Batman Arkham Origins. So for that, I'll just open Steam. Okay, library, and go to properties, and if I go to updates, I can see the app ID. Now I'll just open a new window, go to the games folder, and Steam apps, compat data, and if you look at this app ID and go to here and see this folder, this is the wine prefix for Batman Arkham Origins. So now with using this prefix, we need to install these libraries. So for that, I've just put all these commands here. So I'll just copy this first, and from this folder, I will install these, create symlinks for these sets of libraries. Okay, after that is done, I'll just install PhysX using Proton tricks. Okay, and then just wants to check if PhysX is installed. So yeah, so this much should be the setup that you require for Batman Arkham Origins. Now similarly with Arkham Knight, I know where my wine prefix is. So and if you do not know where your wine prefix is, you can go to your Heroic Games Launcher. Oh, by the way, I forgot. Batman Arkham City, Arkham Origins, and Batman Arkham City, Arkham Asylum, and Arkham Knight are from Epic Games version. So I'll be using Heroic Games Launcher for this instance. So you can see this wine prefix folder and get it opened here. Now, similarly, I'll be doing the same process for Batman Arkham Knight. And force and install PhysX and the same prefix. And this, in essence, should get PhysX working on Batman Arkham Origins and Batman Arkham Knight. Now, the next step is for Batman Arkham City and Arkham Asylum. Now, for Arkham City, even though it is okay that you don't do it, it is generally recommended that you clean out the wine prefix. So as I go here, and this is my prefix for it, I'll just essentially nuke everything in here to create a wine prefix, and I'm not deleting the game. So then we go back to Heroic Games Launcher and open up Arkham City, the options, and just start wine config to create a prefix here. So yeah, as it creates a prefix, yeah. Now once the prefix is created, I'll do the same process here to create symlinks for these CUDA libraries. Okay, done. And now these system modifications or wine prefix modifications are added by looter scripts, and it generally helps to improve stability and performance. So I'll be using them as well. So in this Arkham City wine prefix, what we'll be doing is getting PhysX, D3D DX9 43, D3D DX9, D3D compiler 43, VC Run 2008, MDX, and Arial font. So we will run this. Now that is done, this should be enough for Batman Arkham City to have PhysX support. Now, a little more convoluted step is for Batman Arkham Asylum. Now, in this case, you must create a fresh prefix for Batman Arkham Asylum to be working with PhysX. So what I'm going to do is just nuke this PhysX install, the wine prefix install, so that only Arkham Asylum is pending. So only the game is pending. So then we go back, launch wine prefix here. Now the prefix is done. Now we install these libs. And these following prefix DLLs, which are PhysX MFC 80 VC Run 2005 D3D DX9 underscore 43 D3D DX9 D3D compiler underscore 43 and MDX. Okay, after that, now Arkham, because our Batman Arkham Asylum runs on a very old PhysX version, that is I think PhysX 2.7, you need a legacy PhysX libraries. For that, we will be downloading this 9.13.06.0604 version of PhysX. So I'll just save this in my downloads. So I know this is in my downloads folder, and with the prefix, I'll just use the built-in the Windows installer, that is MSI-EXE, from the wine prefix to install this PhysX software. So the launcher should start. All right. Now, once that is launched, I'll just install this. And after this, now there is one more additional step, which unfortunately requires you to have either Batman Arkham City or Batman Arkham Origins installed. That is to copy the PhysX device PhysX device.dll from these games. So basically, Arkham Asylum will not detect the PhysX hardware without the DLLs from either from Batman Arkham Origins or Batman Arkham City. So for this, I'll be fetching the PhysX device.dll from Batman Arkham City. So that will be in binary win32. As I scroll down, I should be able to see, yeah, PhysX device.dll. I'll just copy this and go back to Batman Arkham Asylum to the binaries folder and paste this. Now, this should complete the setup. Now, once we launch these games, let's start with Batman Arkham Asylum. Okay, yeah, this is an error that you'll get because if you delete the prefix. So I'll just close this out. The second run ideally should launch the game. Yeah. Now, one thing to note, despite all the fixes that we have added, Batman Arkham Asylum's launcher will still say that your hardware does not meet PhysX requirements. But once you launch and play the game, you will see that PhysX is working perfectly fine. So seeing this message, do not be worried. PhysX will be working fine in-game, but the launcher will not detect it. So do not worry about this error. Just continue launching the game. Okay. So I'll just put the settings and I'll show you the playback the demo later. Now, similarly for Arkham City, if I launch, I'm expecting the same prefix error. Okay, same error has come, so not an issue. Okay, and if I launch again, yeah, now if you check the settings and scroll down, you can see that Arkham City doesn't throw this error for PhysX, and you can switch between them without any issues. So this should be and similarly, if you check Batman Arkham Origins and Arkham Knight, the PhysX settings should be enabled. Now we are back in the game Batman Arkham Origins. Now if we check the Hardware Accelerated PhysX settings, along with normal, now we have the high setting which is available, which shows that Hardware Accelerated PhysX is working. Okay, and let's try this, and the game requires a restart. And similarly in Batman Arkham Knight, if I go to graphics options, I can see that the interactive fog and interactive paper debris are also enabled. Now if I apply this, I have to restart the game, but either ways it is being detected. Now let's move on to the benchmarks to show you the difference.
Is Commissioner Gordon here yet?
Yes, sir. He's waiting for you down at patient handover. He got here just before you did.
Sharpie loves his cameras. Hey, Sharpie, you getting my good side? Ah, but heck, they're all good, aren't they?
I want him securely locked away this time.
Look at all this new security. How's the guy supposed to break out of here?
New patient in the intensive treatment lobby. All non-essential staff to vacate the area.
Oh, it's always nice to return to my sweet little hacienda. Hey, Frankie, order up one of these things for the big guy. He looks tired.
Now, with this tutorial, now we have seen that we can get Hardware Accelerated PhysX working on all 4 Batman Arkham games. Now, if you did like this video and found this tutorial helpful, please do like, share and subscribe. With that, go ahead and enjoy your Batman Arkham games, and thanks for watching.